Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Real reason, Golden Bachelorette men agree to take it all off. The fourth episode of the Golden Bachelorette gets down and dirty when Joan's suitors take it all off. Keep reading to find out why the senior men agreed to the striptease. Kaitlyn Bristowe makes appearance for Chippendale-style date. Every season of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette features an episode where the contestants take their clothes off or wear as little as possible. If viewers thought things would be different for a senior-aged version of the show, they're in for a shock. Joan Vassos brings out Bachelorette Kaitlyn Bristowe in this week's episode for a special group date. Kaitlyn tells the men that Joan is looking for someone spontaneous and confident before bringing out the original Chippendale dancers to give the men on the date a lesson. The exotic dancers teach Chalk, Pascal, Jonathan, Dan, Keith, Gil, Mark, Charles, and Gary the finer points of the male striptease, including the body roll move. Entertainment Weekly was on the set when the episode was filmed at the Avalon nightclub in July. Pascal told the outlet, "I'm open for anything. I'm very comfortable about who I am." Joan Vassos told the outlet at the time, "It's not about who's going to be the best Chippendales dancer or who reveals the most. In fact, I would prefer that they reveal less." So what is it about? Real reason Golden Bachelorette men agreed to take it all off. The Golden Bachelorette men were in shock when Kaitlyn Bristowe told them they'd be performing a striptease. But when she explained why, the atmosphere changed, and they were all happily willing to take part. The Chippendale-type group date was in partnership with Stand Up to Cancer to raise awareness and money in cancer prevention. Cancer has a very personal meaning to Joan Vassos. Her husband of over 30 years passed away from pancreatic cancer in 2021 at the age of 59. She told Ego that while she was uncomfortable with the men bearing all, it was for a good cause. She said, "My husband died of pancreatic cancer. The fact that it's for a charity makes it all good for me." In the teaser on the official Golden Bachelorette Instagram, her suitor, Mark Anderson, was also all in once he found out it was for Stand Up to Cancer. He lost his wife to breast cancer in 2018. His daughter, Kelsey Anderson, was open on The Bachelor about how her mother's death affected her. Mark said that it changed the entire dynamic. "Well, let's get it going," he said about taking his clothes off for a good cause. In an unprecedented and slightly eyebrow-raising turn of events, the gentlemen of the Golden Bachelorette Season 1 made headlines with a steamy moment that no one saw coming. They agreed to bear it all, figuratively and literally, in what has become the most talked-about group date of the season. But why did these dignified men, who range from retired surgeons to former rock stars, agree to shed more than their emotional walls? The answer, as it turns out, is as layered as their personalities. The group date that changed everything. It all began with a cryptic date card. Let's strip down the barriers and show who we really are. Joan Vassos, the charismatic Golden Bachelorette, greeted the men with her signature charm and a twinkle of mischief in her eye. But when they arrived at the destination, a luxurious art studio complete with easels, brushes, and oversized canvases, the men were stunned. Awaiting them was not only an art instructor, but also an announcement. They would be modeling for life drawings, and they'd be modeling nude. For a moment, the room filled with nervous laughter and hesitant glances. Some of the men were clearly uncomfortable, while others seemed intrigued by the challenge. Joan, ever the empathetic lead, assured them that this exercise was about vulnerability and self-expression, not judgment. "We're not just here to fall in love," she said. "We're here to rediscover who we are." Her words struck a chord. A bonding experience like no other. Behind the scenes, producers revealed that the idea for the date stemmed from Joan herself. She wanted to see which men were willing to embrace their fears and step outside their comfort zones. "At our age, we've all been through so much," Joan said in a confessional. "But how often do we really let ourselves be seen?" Charles Ling, the 64-year-old retired firefighter, was the first to step forward. "Life's too short to be bashful," he quipped, peeling off his shirt and earning cheers from the other men. His bravery sparked a chain reaction, and one by one, the others followed suit. Even Pascal Abili, the reserved salon owner known for his impeccable suits and polished demeanor, joined in, joking that he'd schedule a spa day after this. What started as a potentially awkward scenario quickly transformed into an empowering experience. The men cheered each other on, shared self-deprecating humor about their dad bods, and even helped each other pose. Mark Anderson, the 60-year-old fitness enthusiast, took the opportunity to give a lighthearted lesson on core exercises, which had the room erupting in laughter. Why they'd agreed to bear it all. While the group date made for sensational television, the real reasons these men agreed to strip down ran deeper than anyone expected. Here are some of their candid explanations. 1. A desire to prove themselves to Joan. Many of the men admitted that Joan's inspiring presence was a driving force. Jordan Heller, the charming 62-year-old entrepreneur, confessed, "Joan makes you want to be the best version of yourself. If this is what it takes to show her I'm willing to take risks, then count me in." Joan's philosophy of living life to the fullest resonated deeply with her suitors. For Mark, who had struggled with the loss of his wife years ago, the experience symbolized a step toward embracing new beginnings. "It wasn't just about taking off my clothes," he said. "It was about taking off the emotional armor I've been wearing for so long." 2. Reclaiming confidence. For some, the date was an opportunity to confront insecurities. Chuck Chappell, the 66-year-old retired musician, revealed in his interview, "I've spent most of my life worrying about what other people think. This was my chance to say, this is me, take it or leave it." The experience proved liberating for Pascal as well. "I'm used to presenting a polished image," he said. "But in that moment, it felt good to just be human, flaws and all." 3. Creating a lasting memory. For others, the decision boiled down to making the most of the experience. "How often do you get to do something like this?" Charles said. "We're not here to play it safe. We're here to make memories." This sentiment was echoed by Guy Gansert, the fan-favorite widower who has charmed audiences with his kind heart. "We've all spent years playing it safe, raising families, building careers. This was a reminder that it's never too late to try something new." 4. The power of brotherhood. Perhaps the most unexpected outcome of the date was the camaraderie it fostered among the men. What could have been a competitive scenario turned into a moment of solidarity. When you're standing there vulnerable and you see the other guys cheering you on, it's a powerful thing, Jordan said. "We're all in this together." By the end of the date, the men weren't just competing for Joan's heart. They were rooting for each other. The shared experience brought them closer, creating a sense of brotherhood that transcended the show's premise. Joan's perspective. For Joan, the date was everything she hoped it would be and more. "Seeing the men take this leap of faith was incredibly moving," she said. "It reminded me why I'm here, to find someone who's not afraid to take chances and embrace life with open arms." The date also gave Joan valuable insights into the men's personalities. "It's not about who looked the best or who posed the longest," she explained. "It's about who showed up with courage and authenticity." The aftermath. The life drawing session ended with each man creating his own self-portrait, a symbolic gesture to capture the essence of who they are. While some of the artwork leaned more abstract, Jordan's stick figure earned a round of applause. Others, like Mark's detailed sketch, showcased hidden talents. Back at the mansion, the mood was noticeably lighter. The men joked about their modeling debut and shared stories from the day. The experience not only broke the ice, but also set a new tone for the season. "This is what it's all about," Charles said. "Taking risks, making connections, and having fun along the way." The real takeaway.